we'll debate that in a little bit.
Hi, I'm Jane Mazzarelli. I worked for Chenango County for 23 years. My first year right out of college, I was only 40 out of college, I worked at Department of Social Services. Hi.
Hi, good to see you.
How are you? I cried every night when I got home when I worked at DSS. Not because of the clients. I love helping people. It was because of the people, and that was 23 years ago, so hopefully the people are nicer now. But it was the people I had to work with. They were horrible. So that's one reason I got angry when I heard about this. When I heard about this whole restructuring. I just brought one menu. Home delivered meals is one of the best programs available to anybody in this area. I love this program, but this isn't home. Well, this is at the sites, the senior sites, and really anybody that can go should go. The food's excellent. I love it. I only brought
high prices in the grocery stores now.
Oh my goodness, yes, and it's all donation. So if you can only afford $1, put $1 in the box.
And we have seniors that will come into our office that have like no
food.
Our office, I haven't gone that long, guys.
Yeah, I'd say the same thing.
And they have no food in their house. Fortunately, we keep cabinets of canned goods and foods and stuff.
Yes.
We hand out when I was there, we were handing out 5 or 6 bags a day of food.
Wow.
For seniors that just walked in, they had no food. And now with prices the way they are, it's probably even greater than that.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Yeah.
And so please, anybody that you might know needs home delivered meals or a meal, the sites have been reduced, but the one in Norwich is open Monday through Friday for lunch. The one in Green is open Monday through Friday. That's not on my notes to talk about. I told Leslie I'd be longer than 6 minutes. So anyways, my job at the Area Agency on the Aging started when Brian Wessel was the coordinator of services and Deb Sanderson was the director, and I didn't even know what the heck I was doing. Brian Wessel hands me a book on Medicaid and a book on Medicare. Learn this, you're going to need it. I didn't know what he meant. Because it wasn't even part of our responsibility yet, but Brian knew that eventually we're going to have to do it, and we did. But anyways, I'm going to start with my notes. Okay, let me finish. I read some of this. I know Leslie asked me to tell you what my day-to-day work was as an outreach worker, because even though I was a senior outreach and I was coordinator of services, I was always just an outreach worker, and I was busy all the time. My day-to-day services, it wasn't as easy as just writing it down, because every day was so different. And ask anybody that worked with me, I just like to help people, okay? Our caseloads, I know that's been mentioned a lot, and some people don't even realize what a caseload is. As an outreach worker, my caseload included home delivered meals, site meals, high cap health insurance, PERS, which is the personal emergency response button, ancillary funds, which if somebody calls and says, I really need a bar for my tub. Well, there was money. I don't know anything about budgeting. I don't do it. But there was money there somewhere, and we put it for ancillary funds, and we were able to help people with different things. We also had those robotic animals, dogs and the cats. I don't know if anybody saw them, but that was all through ancillary.
That was a big hit.
That was great. It was great.
Airport days, somebody had like a little...
Yeah, and it moved, and it meowed, and yeah. I don't know if they even have them anymore, honestly.
They do have them.
Do they? Awesome. That's great. They had birds, too, for a little while, but boy, they made you crazy.
They were annoying, weren't they? Oh, my gosh.
So this is one thing. And Ellen gave me my Kleenex. I thought that it was the right time to retire, because the people that were working there were amazing people, all of them, including the director. And I left on October 31st of 2024. I came back and did health insurance. I got paid for it per diem, how was that?
Hourly, you're an extra hire.
Extra hire. I was an extra hire. I will never do that again. Anyways, I did that all through open enrollment, which is October 15th till December 7th. I did that. I loved it. But I wanted to tell you that the people that did this to our agency, to the agency that I worked at, had no clue what they were doing. They made it hard for me. They made it hard for every senior in this building, in this office, in this county. They made it really hard. I thought it was going to be a good time to retire, and I thought all the people that were left there were caring, empathetic people. I wasn't concerned about the care that my clients would receive. I had clients, I still have clients from when I started working there. They're in their 90s.
And most of them are still in their home because of the services that were provided.
It's true.
I'm in my home because of the services that I get from area needs.
I'm so thankful for that.
And
I am. And
spend my time with my dogs.
that's what you need.
Yeah.
You don't need all that stuff out there in the real world. Just stay home and relax with your dog.
Well, yeah, because you're comfortable in your home and you're actually happier and you live
And
longer.
you want to
That's
live
proven.
in your home, whether it's just with your dogs or with your son or whoever. You want to be there. That's your home.
Right.
You don't, and honestly, I hope that happens to me.
I'm one of the lucky ones. I have friends and family, well, friends that help me, but a lot of people don't have the help that they need, and they get it from area on the aging.
I did want to, I'm kind of going through because I'm talking more than I probably should have. But anyways, I did want to make a point to tell you that the resolution included Preston Manor as part of this human services. Well, Preston Manor is already under Department of Social Services. It is a county-run home, and it's amazing. I always said if I happen to live that long, that's where I want to be. There's a little corner room. I just absolutely love it. It's a really nice place. It really is. I had a lady that lived down the street from me in Smithville, and I saw her at the fair last year. I said, "Is that you?" She says, "Yes, I'm at Preston Manor." And they let her bring her dog. Oh my goodness, she looked 10 years younger. So that was always the responsibility of the Department of Social Services. I can believe it is the reason they want to put it under that umbrella is because they think that Area Agency on the Aging could take care of it. And Ellen and I discussed this too, and I have no idea how true it is. But they have a kitchen at Preston Manor. The kitchen that we use now is at the jail down across from Walmart. It's been set up for us. There's extra freezers. There's the way it's set up for us. I can't even imagine how they could change.
They would have to build a new kitchen
They would have to,
with walk-in
yeah.
coolers, and they'd have to have more storage and freezers. Because the Office for the Aging does 200 meals for that day that are going out on home delivered or they're going to the senior centers. Then, because they're working a whole day, then they do at least another 200 that go in the freezer because people get frozen meals for the weekend. If you get 7 meals a week, 7 meals a day for a week, you get 2 frozen for the weekend. Well, they have to have time to make those. So they are there all day long making meals that are put together by a registered dietitian. I don't even know what they'll do with Deb.
I know, and you got to also remember that a lot of people don't realize this either. The kitchen that is in the jail, they don't prepare the people that are in the jail, the convicts. They're not preparing that food too. They're just preparing the food for our seniors.
Half of the staff that's in the kitchen works just for the Office for the Aging. And of course, they share facilities, and if one side of the kitchen is short because somebody called in, you know, they help each other out, of course. But the main job of those that work for the Office for the Aging is simply to make the meals.
Yep, yep. And a thing that I really, really don't like is the idea of reducing the area agency by 9 employees. It makes no sense to me. The 9 employees, 3 senior outreach. Why? The senior outreach are rich in experiences and education. The 3 will lose the job. They'll just completely lose it. There's no, oh, well, then you can go and be an outreach worker, and then the outreach worker will lose the job. No, that's not how it works. The senior outreach will be let go with all that experience and education, and like Ellen said, they won't be there to take care of their people. And as a senior outreach that I was a senior outreach, and I did the coordinator I was the coordinator for the health insurance. I was all over the place. I know it's my fault.
No, you just, because of the clients.
Yeah.
Because of the clients. And if somebody walks in, because you have open enrollment from October, what?
October 15th till December 7th.
December 7th is open enrollment. Every outreach worker, senior or just regular outreach worker, your schedule is full every single day taking care of seniors for that entire time period.
And I heard you say you had to wait 3 months for an appointment. Why is that? Was it because you were just turning 65, or?
I went there after I was about 68 or whatever.
And they made you wait 3 months? See, I would never have done that. I would have seen you right then and there. So, but that's just me, because that's the kind of person I am. And I know there's still people like that in that office, okay? There is a need for, there is no deputy director in that office at this time. There's a second deputy director, whatever. She's doing what she has to do, and she ends up having to do a lot of the responsibilities as the director, which I don't care for. But that's what's happening. They need a person to help with the nutrition program. They need one person. And I was told by the dietitian that right now there's 2 people doing it, and there's only supposed to be 1. So the whole office is a little bit confused right now too.
Once they got rid of Heather, once they fired the director, then things got kind of chaotic there.
Yeah.
But one of the positions, the nutrition services program aide, they want to get rid of. Well, this is what happens. The nutrition program aide goes to the kitchen every single morning because the kitchen staff cannot get the meals right. So you have drivers that are going out, you know, with their coolers, hot food for the senior centers. They also deliver there. And they don't have the right number of meals. So you're going to have a couple of seniors on their route that aren't getting food because the kitchen miscounted. So we had a nutrition program aide started going to the kitchen every morning to make sure all those counts were right. Because what happens, a senior would call us going, well, I didn't get my food today. One of the employees ran them food. Didn't matter where in the county they lived. But if they didn't get their meal delivery and they were supposed to get one, they would take them their meal. But it was happening too often. So we had to have somebody from the office go down every single morning to make sure all the counts were right and all the meals. And since they started doing that, we haven't had any problems with people not getting food.
And my clients are telling me the food's better too, since they're watching over the workers.
Well, we had that one senior center. It was so funny. They didn't get their food. They called the office to tell us they hadn't gotten their food. And they said, so everybody here decided we're having a pizza party, and you guys are paying for it. We're going to charge it to the agents. We're going to go for it.
Well, anyways, I guess this meeting is over. I just, I just wanted to see what else I put here. Answering the phones. Why is it such a pain to have somebody answer the phones? And so now, right now, we have 2 part-time.
2 19-hour-a-week people, and because they're only 19 hours a week, they do not, the county doesn't have to pay them any benefits.
Right.
And between the 2, 19 equals 38, and there is only 37 and a half hours that the agency is open. Works out perfect, and they arrange it between themselves as to what time each one of them is taking every day. They want to get rid of that.
Both of
Or,
them.
I guess along with doubling the caseload for the outreach workers, they're also going to make them take turns answering the phone. I don't know.
You're over.
And they're doing that everywhere, it's not.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. But this has always worked for us, and now why do they have to try to fix it?
I really feel like they're trying to kill us.
That's why there's a quote from me in the paper that says, it's like they're just trying to destroy the agency and get rid of it.
Yeah.
Yes, ma'am.
Why? What's the motivation?
Yes, ma'am.
I heard you. I was
Hey.
for over 20 years, and I worked with the New York Connect program for many of them. When I called my supervisor, like you guys said, call your supervisor, I was told by Jim McNeil, oh, the New York Connect program is a wonderful program. Now you're telling me that they're going to take that caseworker that is supposed to be
Exclusive.
coordinating it out. I said that to him, I asked him, what, oh, it's top heavy, that was his big mantra. And I said, well, what's gonna happen with these programs? The other one was, oh, it's not, no programs will be affected. Oh, yeah. And I said, well, who's gonna supervise and who's going to coordinate those programs that if it's not going to be effective, being that you're cutting all these positions? Oh, we're not cutting that many positions. And it just was, and he made it sound like it was a done deal. I mean, I was just heartsick because I've worked so many years with.
I worked with her
Jay.
all the time. She taught me so much.
Outreach workers, there we go. And it's just such a wonderful program, and I saw people out in the back hills of nowhere, and they were able to stay in their homes because they were getting home delivered meals, and they had a lifeline, and there were all sorts of nice programs that these people were getting. And I'm getting this lie from my supervisor that said, oh, no programs will be affected.
No, and they won't affect any programs. What it'll affect is all the seniors that can't have them. Because there's no outreach worker to get them set up in that program. That is what happens. They're gonna still have the housekeeper chore and the home delivered meals and the personal aides and emergency response. It's just you can't get one because nobody has time to see you because they had to take on so many other clients. That's what it is.
When I asked that specific question, who's going to coordinate these programs? He couldn't answer me.
Right. Okay, you had a question?
The agency is very popular and they're doing valuable work, and almost everyone knows that. I just can't understand why the supervisors have gone down the path they're going down.
Money?
Yeah, that's the $65,000 question.
It's just confusion or lack of understanding or they made a big step.
Yeah,
No one seems to know why. I certainly don't know why.
right. Well, and part of that is, part of that is that they chose not to do this the proper way. So that automatically makes people assume that they're trying to hide something. Whether they're doing it this way because they're inept or because they do want to hide something, either way, they're being negligent. So until we have the public meeting about how they're going to restructure this so that we do keep the services at the same level they are and we do continue to get the funding for those services, we won't know their intent. And that meeting must be publicized 3 weeks prior to when it is scheduled. And they have to have it before they vote on it and then before they submit it to the state. Now, if the state feels that they have not done things adequately, the state can also come in and do a public meeting. Because the state is very aware of what's going on here, I would like to think that they would make the time to do their own public meeting, but I don't know. Their meeting, it would not give us the intent as to why they're doing this. I have my theories. I'm a conspiracy theorist, hobbyist, okay?
But you know, there was a quote in one of the meeting minutes. It might have been when it came up on May 11th, that Jeff Blanchard, chairman of the board, said this is going to save us $300,000.
He said that.
Yeah.
So you eliminate 9 positions. The local share for the entire 1.8 budget is only 254,000. So it's definitely not 300. You're going to eliminate 9 positions from the Office for the Aging, but you're going to hire 3 or 4 higher echelon. I mean, one's listed at 98,000 salary.
Yes.
How are you? I mean,
Right.
I'm pretty
And
good
so
at math.
Right, so we have to, yeah, that's
You
why
are
we
good
have
at
to
math.
assume that their intent is bad. But we have no way of knowing because they're being obtuse or opaque. We don't know which.
Yep.
One
Yes.
thing I might,
Go ahead.
I think when they have a public hearing, they are probably required to hold that public hearing in a space that will adequately hold the people that they think will come to
Yes.
do that public hearing.
And they don't.
So if they try to hold it in that supervisor's room,
It's gonna be full.
We're not going to,
And
that's why
hot.
they keep saying they don't.
then they probably are not complying with the law.
Right.
Is it another issue where you're not going to be able to say anything, it will go?
No.
With public hearings.
Public hearing, you can say. Public hearing, okay.
Yeah, with it being public hearing, that the connotation to that is that people are allowed to speak.
Oh, okay.
Will everybody be able to? They might set a time limit on it, I don't know.
They will.
But, you know, you either might get like 30 seconds to make a statement or a question, or they will only allow, say, 20 people. You know, there will be a
There
limit.
will be overlaps, people will talk about the same thing, so not everybody has to say something.
Right.
Will
You have
they
another
will they have a
question?
timeline for when this
Yep.
public hearing might be?
They have to publicize it 21 days prior.
Right, but when,
But they haven't.
they
no.
don't have a time in between, like, they have so many days to
They have to-
discuss
they
this and
still
find
have
out
to-
what the agency does? Because it sounds to me like
Yes,
the
they do.
supervisors, some of them, do not have a clue.
Right.
Do not
Most
have
of
a
them
clue.
do not have a clue.
I had a teacher friend, well-known teacher friend, that called her supervisor, had a lovely chat with her supervisor. The supervisor said he was going to vote yes. She came into the Y the next day and she said, oh, I had a lovely talk with my supervisor and he's going to be voting yes. And this was a few days after the actual vote. I said, well, I need to tell you, your supervisor voted no. And she was shocked, absolutely shocked.
So that's what they do.
And isn't that awful? Isn't it? I mean, this
Yeah.
is
Long face lie.
Public pressure will do that to you.
how,
Yeah.
that man didn't have enough time to have public pressure between her phone call and when the actual meeting was.
Right.
So I don't think that person ever meant to say yes.
Yeah.
That person meant to say no right from the
Of course, he
beginning.
was just passive.
Okay, Peter?
On a related issue, I'm not looking to change the subject,